Good evening. Welcome to virtual meeting number 2 of the 2023 Unmet Transit Needs Assessment. I'm Harold Sobrato with Fresno Council of Governments. We're going to start off tonight's meeting with a brief introduction in terms of what the Unmet Transit Needs Assessment is. Then we'll have each participating transit agency give a brief update in terms of what they're doing. We'll then open it up to questions and comments, as well as give participants the opportunity to share their unmet transit needs with us. So anyways, the Unmet Transit Needs Assessment, or UTN, is an annual process that is required by the state of California to distribute transportation funds. Next slide, please. The UTN is done in partnership with the following transit agencies: Fresno Area Express, Clovis Transit, Fresno County Rural Transit Agency, or FCRTA, Fresno Economic Opportunities Commission, or Fresno EOC. The assessment itself is being done by Fresno COG. Next slide, please. Do you or someone you know have a public transit need that is not being met? Public participation is an essential part of the UTN. While the requirements call for a public hearing at a minimum, we do far more with eight in-person and virtual meetings scheduled, plus a public hearing. This is our 5th public event. The 6th event is scheduled to take place this coming Saturday at 9 a.m. at the offices of Fresno Council of Governments. The 7th event is next Tuesday, February 28th at 5:30 p.m. in the city of Huron, while the 8th and final public outreach event is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. The public hearing is scheduled to take place on Thursday, April 27th at 5:30 p.m. Fresno COG Policy Board meeting. You can get specific information in terms of the Unmet Transit Needs process at the URL below. Next slide, please. What is the purpose of the Unmet Transit Needs meetings? The meetings, as per regulation, the meetings provide an opportunity for the public to identify all Fresno County unmet transit needs that are reasonable to meet within Fresno County. Next slide, please. What is an unmet transit need? An unmet transit need is an inadequacy in existing public transit service from one location to another for persons recognized as transit dependent in Fresno County. Next slide, please. Who is transit dependent? The transit dependent are those individuals who rely on public transit because they do not operate a vehicle because of youth, advanced age, mental or physical impairment, or low income. Next slide, please. The Unmet Transit Needs process is overseen by the Social Services Transportation Advisory Committee, or SSTAC. What is the purpose of the Social Services Transportation Advisory Committee, or SSTAC? The purpose of SSTAC is to receive public comment regarding transit needs for the transit dependent in Fresno County. Next slide, please. In addition to these public meetings, we also have an online survey that is going to be up until the end of March, in which you can participate through the URLs, through the website address listed here. It's www.publicinput.com/UTN 2023 in English. In Spanish, the URL is www.publicinput.com/Spanish UTN 2023. You can also send an email in English or Spanish at UTN@publicinput.com, in Spanish at SpanishUTN@publicinput.com. And you can also leave a voicemail with your comments at 855-925-2801. Next slide, please. With that, are there any questions from members of the public with regard to the unmet transit needs slide that I just went through? And also, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to raise your hand in the meeting. Seeing as there are none, we have representatives from each of the 4 participating transit agencies present here today, and we've asked them to actually give us a brief update in terms of what they're doing within their transit agencies. With that said, we're going to start off with Carolina Illick, Planning Manager at Fresno Area Express.
Thank you, Todd. We're so happy to be here to be able to provide information on what Fresno Area Express is doing as part of the services that are provided here in the region in the county of Fresno. So FACTS, we're the service provider for the city of Fresno. And I think that this process is super collaborative between Fresno County Rural Transit Agency, Clovis Transit, FEOC, and FACTS, and the Fresno Council of Governments. So we're happy to be a part of this. I think I wanted to provide a couple of brief updates about some of the things that FACTS has been doing most recently. And that's really about lowering fares for our transit passengers. You may have heard that we now have lowered our fares from $1.25 to $1 for the regular fare. And a lot of this started during COVID. We also now have received a generous grant from Kaiser, and we've been able to provide free fares for our reduced fare riders. So that's for people with disabilities, our seniors, and our Medicare card holders. And so we're really happy about that particular program. We also have been working with the school districts and the universities to have them help subsidize student passes. And so for students right now, students from Fresno State, Fresno City College, Clovis Community College, and high school students from the Fresno Unified School District can also ride for free. And all other students, the rates have come down for 75 cents per ride. And we also have made fares free for our veterans and active duty military, as well as for children under 12 years old. So we've been doing a lot the last year or so to really lower those fares and make it easier for people to travel on our system. And I guess in terms of some projects, we are exploring all kinds of additional route changes and continuing to plan for the future. We have been in the process of submitting multiple grant applications, and we're waiting right now as we speak to see if we might be the recipients of a new microtransit pilot project in the west area of Fresno. So with that, I think I'll pass it over to the other transit providers, and maybe Moses can go next.
Thank you, Carolina. Janelle, do you want to go ahead and give us a brief update in terms of what's happening at your agency?
Sure, thanks, Todd. Hi, everyone. Janelle Del Campo. I'm Operations Manager with Fresno County Rural Transit Agency. So we provide service to the rural areas in Fresno County. We have intercity fixed route service that originate in the rural incorporated cities and go into the city of Fresno. And then we also have a few college routes that we offer that go to Reedley College from Sanger, as well as Kingsburg, Selma, and Fowler. We have intracity demand response services. These operate in the 13 rural incorporated cities. It's a curb-to-curb service for the general public, and you can just call the dispatch number to request a ride for same-day service. There's no fares for this service for the seniors, disabled, and veterans. We also have a service called the Rural Transit, which is a unique service. It's for individuals that are located outside the sphere of influence of the 15 incorporated cities in Fresno County. And this is for lifeline services. So a trip such as a doctor's appointment or going to the pharmacy. And then our most recent service that we kicked off is our new microtransit service. We deployed this in the community of Biola after preparation for probably the last few years through grant-funded planning projects. This microtransit service is operated by our subcontractor, MV Transportation, and hiring individuals from the communities for the drivers, and we're using Chevy Bolt electric vehicles for this service. We're just starting to see ridership pick up for the service, and a big part of that's been our partnership with the League of Women Voters and the Biola Community Service District. And if this demo project is successful, we hope to expand it into the other communities as well. And then Just a few planning projects that are currently underway. We're wrapping up a project funded by RTAP, the Rural Transit Assistance Project. And this was part of the planning that took place prior to deploying our microtransit service in Biola. It included extensive outreach, surveying the community, and the final report for the service analysis should be completed soon. And then lastly, we have a microgrid study we're working on, and we're going to kick off the outreach for that in the next few months. This study was a result of our completed grid analysis study and a recommendation that came out of that to offset stress on the electrical grid was to install microgrids. So this analysis will include locating and evaluating sites for possible microgrid locations. And these might include things like charging units, solar, or battery backup. And I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Amy, do you want to go next for Clovis Transit?
Sure. Thank you, Todd. Good evening, everyone. My name's Amy Hance. I'm with the City of Clovis. I'm the General Services Manager overseeing 3 divisions. One of those is public transit. Clovis Transit provides fixed route service and paratransit service throughout the City of Clovis and into Fresno. We currently have a fare-free model, which means our passengers do not pay to ride our buses. Just like the other operators here in Fresno County, FACTS and FCRTA, we too are always looking at our routes. We're currently doing a route redesign project for our fixed route service. We're hoping to increase service times, increase efficiency, and just in general, make riding Clovis Transit much, much easier. Like our other transit operators in Fresno County, we too are also looking at zero emission buses and what that means to our service and what that will mean to our community. We're looking for funding sources for those projects. We have a lot going on out here in Clovis, just like everybody else in Fresno County when it comes to transit. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. And last but not least, Thomas, do you want to tell us what's going on over at Fresno FEOC?
Sure. Thank you, Todd. So my name is Thomas Doolin. I work for Fresno EOC in the transit department. What we have going on here to help the unmet needs for transportation is we're looking at our software that's going to help us fill in those blanks and a lot of ridership in our routes. Our software is a little bit aged, so this will help us provide more effective routes. We're also a partnership with the COG in a program called TaxiScript, where they go online to see if they'll apply, see if they get approved, and we'll go and pick them up and take them to get doctor's appointments, medication. There is a small fee, but it's at a reduced rate. And like all the others, we are looking at electric vehicles as well. I think that's the wave of the future.
Perfect. Thank you, Thomas. And thank you to all of our transit agency representatives for those updates. We'll go ahead and open it up to the public for any questions and answers that they might have, with regard to for our transit agency representatives, and also open it up to receive any unmet transit needs that they might have. So if you could just please raise your hand, we'll go ahead and call on you in order there.
There's no hands raised at this time.
Okay, well, go ahead and give it another minute, and then I guess after that, unless anyone else has anything else to add, I guess we can conclude this meeting.
I'll just add, Todd, that this month we're celebrating 5 years of FACTS's bus rapid transit line, the Q. It's our 5-year anniversary, and that line carries about 25% of our riders. And we're excited to be celebrating our 5-year anniversary, one of many milestones that we've reached.
Perfect. Thanks, Carolina. And along those lines, not to put you on the spot, Amy, but I think you guys have an interesting project taking shape there in Clovis as well. Do you mind sharing that, giving us some information about that?
Sure. I'm happy to talk. I think you're referring to our new building at Landmark Square here in Old Town Clovis. Is that right?
I am.
Yeah. So the city of Clovis is very proud to be talking about our two new buildings that are coming up out of the ground, located at Clovis and 3rd Street, just right directly adjacent to our Old Town Center. This project is called Landmark Square, and it will have two new city facilities, one being the William H. Harry Armstrong Transit Center. This will be a building that will be administrative in purpose, but we're considering it a transit hub, and we've designed it and built the bus stop that's just located directly adjacent to it to be able to accommodate all sizes of buses. So we're hoping that not only our stage line and roundup bus service will come in, but we've built it for the capacity of FACTS and FCRTA buses to come into sometime in the future. The project itself is directly adjacent to our Old Town Trail. So we're hoping for some active transportation as people come and go to the site and enjoy our beautiful new senior center that's going in just across the street from the transit center, that they'll be able to walk, bike, or rollerblade, I don't know, over to the center and maybe pick up a bus and continue on their travels. Additionally, in the site in the future will be a Fresno County Library. That's still in the works, but we're really excited about the potential of having a brand new library in the city of Clovis.
Thank you, Amy. Thomas, Moses, or Janelle, do you guys have anything else to add? Do we have any questions, answers, or any questions or unmet transit needs from the audience?
No raised hands at this time.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're going to have the online surveys available until the end of March, specifically March 24th, 2023. You can actually access the survey in English at www.publicinput.com/UTN 2023. Also available in Spanish at www.publicinput.com/Spanish UTN 2023. So with that said, if no one has anyone to add, we'll just go ahead and conclude this meeting at this point.